So, do you remember the last lecture of history we were talking about the colonization?
Yeah, I remember, but actually I didn't like that topic.
Really? Why?
I think Russians did not colonize us because their main goal was to protect us from Jungars. You think so?
What the f***? Wait a damn minute.
Please don't talk to me about decolonization when you still speaking in the colonizer's language. See you genocide us, then you colonize us. See you sterilize us, and now you fetishize us.
The story begins in the 18th century when the Jungars launched an invasion in 1723, which is called the Aksaban Shaburanda. Despite the victories at Bulanta and Andrakai, the attacks continued. Seeking protection from the attacks, Abulhayr Khan wrote a letter to Empress Anna. In February 19th, 1731, she signed a charter marking the beginning of Kazakhstan's dependence on Russia, but also giving temporary protection from the Jungars.
The beginning of the 18th century was marked for Russia by the reform of Peter the Great, who sought connection with the East and the path of the India and China. At the suggestion of the governor Gagarin in 1715, Peter the Great sent the expedition of the 3,000 people under the leadership of Bukot. The main goal was to build fortresses in the Irtysh Valley. One of the first and most important are the Omsk and Yamyshevskaya fortresses, 1716. They were strategic importance on the Irtysh, guarded trade routes and served as a military base. Semipalatinsk fortress, 1718, control of the middle course of the Irtysh, a base for advancing into the steppe. Uсть-Kamenogorsk fortress, 1720, for border protection and control over Altai resources. Even at that time, Peter the Great retold the benefits of the Kazakh steppes for Russia. He told,
«Всем азиатским странам и землям оная орда, ключ и врата, и той ради причины оная орда потребна под российской протекцией быть».
In the beginning of the 18th century, the Russian Empire started building fortresses on the territory of the Kazakh Khanate. First fortresses appeared along the Yaik line, then Omsk line and Irtysh line. Fortresses become not only a military fortification of the territory of the Kazakh Khanate, but also a political one. The Russian Empire used fortresses to control trade routes, establish administrative control, and ensure military control over the territory of the Kazakh Khanate. To establish power, they used various political measures. For example, they set entire nations against each other for their own benefit. And the confirmation for this can be the policy of Neplyuyev about the Kazakh-Bashkir wars at the beginning of the 18th century. He used the Kazakh-Bashkir conflicts to his advantage to consolidate control over the region, weaken resistance, and push the empire's borders further into the steppe.
In the second half of the 18th century, the Kazakhstan Empire began its colonization of Kazakh lands. During its term, it conducted reforms aimed to reducing the power of the Khans in the middle and junior judges.
Instead of Khans, administrative control was brought to local elected leaders like elders and sultans. The steppe was to be divided into okrug, walls, and hours for better governance. These reforms marked the start of transition from traditional nomadic rule to centralized administrative control under Russian authority.
Saramdadov, in the end of 18th century, led the first major uprising in junior Jews. The main reason for that was confiscation of Kazakh lands and restriction for nomadic roads. In the late 30s of 19th century, Issatayev and Mahomet Timosol fought for the rights of ordinary people against the tyranny of local authorities and feudal lords. Also, Mahomet inspired the people with his works. Kenisar Qasımov, the last Khan of Kazakhs, led the largest uprising against the Russian Empire, seeking to restore the independence of the Kazakh lands. Up till 1847, these uprisings became a symbol of resistance and national identity of Kazakh people.
Hey, did you know that Kazakhstan went through a hard time in 18th century? It became a part of Russian Empire.
Yeah, Russia wanted to expand south. They sent military forces and sent people, including exiles, to Kazakhstan.
Yeah, it's interesting It wasn't just military control. Russia also changed the economy.
Through new taxes, military duties, reforms in 1822 and 1867 changed everything. There were new leaders, villages, and governors.
Yeah, Russification also started. Russian language, religion, and culture were spread. Russian schools opened in the 70s of 19th century.
This colonization had such a strong impact. It's still affecting Kazakhstan's politics and economy today.